Bolivia sits at 14,000 feet above sea level. Winters there are brutal, temperatures dropping low enough to kill any crop left exposed overnight. Yet farmers across that region have grown fresh vegetables year-round since the 1990s. Burning zero fuel, carrying no power bill, relying entirely on the earth itself for warmth. They dug into the ground, covered it with a simple angled roof, and let nature handle the rest. That's a walapini greenhouse, a design so effective it outperforms expensive commercial systems without costing a single dollar to operate. Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from today. Thousands of years before Bolivia's farmers dug their first walapini, civilizations across Central Asia and the Middle East were already growing food underground. Ancient Persians built subterranean gardens to survive desert heat swings that killed everything above ground. Native communities across the American Southwest did the same thing. Pit structures that stayed warm through winters harsh enough to freeze exposed soil solid. The idea wasn't new. It was just buried along with everything else that didn't require buying something. Walipini is a word from the Aymara language, spoken by indigenous communities in the Bolivian Andes. Translated directly, it means place of warmth. That name wasn't chosen casually. These structures are dug 6 to 8 feet into the earth, with a long sloped roof angled toward the winter sun. The south-facing angle maximizes every hour of available sunlight during the coldest months of the year. Here's the part most people miss. Soil sitting 6 feet below ground level stays at a remarkably stable warmth year-round, somewhere between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit in most parts of the United States, regardless of what the air above is doing. Frozen topsoil means nothing to Earth that deep. It just keeps holding that thermal stability, quietly, season after season. Bolivian development organizations documented walapini performance through the 1990s and early 2000s, tracking harvests through cold seasons that regularly pushed open-air readings below freezing. Communities that previously couldn't grow food between November and March were producing vegetables straight through those months without a single piece of heating equipment on site. No boiler, no propane tank, no electric heater running up a bill nobody could afford. Just a hole in the ground and a roof pointed at the sun. Above-ground greenhouses fail in cold seasons for one simple reason. Glass and plastic don't hold warmth. They just slow down how fast it escapes. The moment the sun goes down, everything your heating system worked all day to build starts bleeding out through those walls. By morning, you're running the heater again just to recover what you lost overnight. It's a loop that never ends, and every rotation costs money. Standard greenhouse heating runs between $400 and $1,200 a year, depending on your climate and structure size. In colder states, Minnesota, Montana, Wisconsin, that number pushes higher. Growers in those regions often spend more on winter fuel than they make back from what they grow. The math never quite works, and most people either accept it or stop cultivating in the cold altogether. Before we go further, hit subscribe if you're finding this useful. More forgotten designs like this one are coming, and you don't want to miss them. Earth doesn't work that way. Soil 6 feet down has been absorbing and storing thermal energy since long before the freeze started. It doesn't spike in summer or crash in winter. It just holds steady, radiating that stored heat upward into whatever space sits above it. A walapini greenhouse captures that radiant warmth from below, while the angled roof draws in solar gain from above. 2 heat sources, 0 fuel costs, working simultaneously around the clock. Frost hits the open ground and does absolutely nothing to the temperature inside. Wind cuts across the top of that roof and loses. Even on the coldest nights on record in Bolivia's highlands, interior walapini readings stayed consistently above freezing without any intervention whatsoever. Not insulation doing that work. The earth itself. Building 1 starts with a hole. Specifically, a rectangular pit dug 6 to 8 feet deep, sized to whatever growing space you need. A basic walapini runs about 12 feet wide and 20 feet long, enough room to grow vegetables for a family through an entire cold season. Larger operations go bigger, but that footprint is where most first-time builders start. Your sides are the earth itself. You're not pouring concrete or laying block. The soil you dug out becomes your insulation on all 4 edges. Some builders line those interior surfaces with adobe brick or rammed ground material for added stability, especially in looser soil types. Others leave the dirt exposed and let it do its job naturally. Both approaches work. The structure handles thermal and load-bearing functions regardless of what you put on the interior. Precision on the roof is where results get made. A basic timber frame spans the opening, angled at roughly 30 degrees toward the south to catch maximum sunlight during the shortest days of the year. Plastic glazing or polycarbonate panels cover the frame, materials that cost a fraction of glass but perform identically for solar transmission. That angle isn't guesswork. It's calculated based on your latitude to maximize every available hour of winter sun hitting the interior. Total material cost for a standard 12 by 20 foot walapini runs between $500 and $1,500 depending on your location and what you already have on hand. Timber, glazing, and basic drainage materials make up most of that number. The labor is digging, framing, and covering. Work most people can complete in a weekend with 2 or 3 sets of hands. Now compare that to conventional greenhouse fuel expenses. At $600 a year in running costs, a conservative estimate for cold climates, a 1,500 walapini pays for itself in under 3 years. Every cold season after that, you're growing food for free while your neighbors are still writing checks to propane companies. Drainage matters more than most people expect. A straightforward gravel floor with a slight slope toward a central drain keeps moisture from pooling and damaging root systems. Ventilation is handled with 2 small roof vents at opposite ends, open during warm days, closed at night to lock heat in. No thermostat, no timer, no monthly bill attached to any of it. The whole system runs itself. Bolivia proved this works at 14,000 feet through freezing months that would shut down any above-ground setup without a serious fuel budget. Your winter, wherever you're watching from, is almost certainly milder than that, which means this works better for you than it did for them. Cultivating food through freezing months used to mean accepting high fuel costs or giving up entirely. Most people chose to give up. They put the greenhouse away in October, bought vegetables from a store shipping produce from thousands of miles away, and waited for spring like there was no other option. A walapini removes that choice from the equation completely. Energy costs aren't stabilizing. Natural gas prices swung over 20% in a single year recently, and propane followed right behind it. Every grower running a conventional heated setup felt that shift directly in their operating costs, with no warning and no way to offset it. A subterranean design insulates you from those fluctuations permanently, not because energy gets cheaper, but because you stop needing it altogether. Food security is the piece most people underestimate until something goes wrong. Supply chain disruptions, store shortages, price spikes on fresh produce. All of those hit hardest in the cold season when local farming has already shut down everywhere around you. A producing walapini in January means your household stays fed from your own land regardless of what's happening at the grocery store. Property value follows too. Permanent producing infrastructure, especially low-cost, low-maintenance structures that yield year-round, adds measurable worth to rural and semi-rural land in ways that seasonal gardens never do. What Bolivia's farmers figured out in the 1990s wasn't a regional solution to a regional problem. It was a universal principle applied in one of the harshest growing environments on the planet. Subterranean heat storage works the same way in Kansas as it does in the Andes. The earth holds its warmth regardless of what country you're standing in. Every cold season you spend heating above ground is one you could have spent producing below it. Bolivia's farmers solved freezing winters at 14,000 feet with a hole and a roof. No heating bill, no fuel, no equipment required. If that holds up in the Andes, it works where you are. Subscribe for more forgotten designs that actually perform. The ground beneath your feet is already warmer than you think.